All right. Oh yeah. I can get two, three. That'd be perfect. 2, 3. So looking over my current volume movers, I see at the top we have SWVL, Mogul, and these are things over $1. I know there's some things moving under $1, but I'm not interested in those. Mogul, IFBD was a reverse split. It was up 600 something percent, but has been dropping ever since. Good morning, Donnell. Yeah, the scan is pretty weak today. Um, at first when I first popped on, I saw IFBD up 600%. I was like, oh, it's gonna be one of those crazy Fridays. But then I read the news and I was like, man, it's just a split, just a old crazy split. SWVL has a pretty high share size out there. May get very heavy, so I'll focus on the lower share size, maybe like Mogu or Pixie is done. I'm not even interested in Pixie, but yeah, those are only two low floats that I really see on this scan. DWAC. Let's see what kind of news was on Swivel. No real news on the day. Um, they moved it to outperform rating of $8, but that means nothing. Couple of that we were looking at yesterday. Rivian did end up holding towards the 50% of this support resistance level that I had marked out yesterday. Held this support, went up to 36, which is about 50% of this whole range, and had a little quick pop in pre-market, but I think it's coming on down. The SPY got back over 400. Pixie just doing a gap fill here. The 2950, a drop below the 2950 would be definite weakness here on Friday. They'll be coming back and failing that gap fill. And oil broke down the 85s and trying to come back and retest within this range above the 85s, which I'm sad about. I wanted it to continue down, but maybe it's going to just take its time and really grind down. Let me see what kind of news is over here. White House is mulling a ban on Bitcoin mining. Well, I don't mind that anymore anyway, so they can do that. Looks like press release: Mason Infrastructure Group Inc. to sell Sandersville, Georgia Bitcoin mining facility, including whatever that is, Bitcoin miners, blah blah blah, for up to 45 million. So they're trying to get rid of Bitcoin mining. Europe's energy crunch could spark flashbacks to Eurozone crisis. Natural gas up but set for a third straight weekly decline. Okay, have solar stocks come too far too fast? Okay. Good morning, Daniel B and SB. Market Watch: Queen Elizabeth did not hesitate to question the complacency of Britain's bankers, investors, dividends, futures up nearly 300 points as stocks on track to rally at open. We'll see about that. Bears go nuclear with 8 billion. Bet the market will decline. 3x what they thought in 2008. Whatever. Market on close had an imbalance on yesterday. Imbalance of 585 million to the sell side. Okay. So we'll see what all this means here shortly. Ruby was one that Lauren had called out yesterday. It got going up and kind of just flattened out, holding these levels here at the 133s. Had a little bit of resistance up here towards the 150s. Little bit higher float. I think Pixie will be the one that I watch out of the open for a drop. Really didn't have any reason to be up. We were watching it yesterday. It got absolutely pushed down and kept down for a long time, and then it just had this big pop from 23 all the way up here to the 30s. Very choppy trader yesterday. About 15 minutes to the bell. Let me jump out here and tech executives keep trying to tell us the party is over. Okay, Botox revival can be more broadly used in therapeutics. Riven CEO. Okay, these are not laundromat tokens. SEC chief sends warning to crypto industry. Let's see what's going on over here. Whoops. These are not laundromat tokens. SEC chief sends warning to crypto industry. Gary Gensler has strong words for crypto industry and a Thursday speech telling an audience of lawyers that the vast majority of nearly 10,000 existing crypto tokens are securities being issued to public in violation of federal laws. The investing public is buying or selling crypto security tokens because they're expecting profits derived from the efforts of others in a common enterprise. The chairman of Securities and Exchange Commission said, according to prepared remarks, paraphrasing the definition of security in U.S. case law. Okay. All right. Gensler took aim at those in the industry who say that existing securities law is incompatible with cryptocurrencies and who have asked for a new set of rules tailored specifically for the industry. He argued that through the statements and dozens of enforcement actions, the SEC has made clear how existing law applies to the industry and that no such rules are forthcoming. Okay. We'll see how that plays out. Gensler is a crook. He invested in Ethereum. He probably lost money in Ethereum and he's absolutely infuriated. What happens, man? See, if he was winning, he wouldn't be saying that. He would not be saying that. Let's see. AT&T dividend loving investors are dialing the wrong number. Okay, let's go to more recent news. EU ministers seek emergency liquidity measures. Energy update. Okay. ECB ramps up scrutiny of banks' response to energy crisis. That's in Europe. FedEx stock, while one analysis is remaining cautious ahead of earnings. He's purposely wasting time and not providing clarity intentionally so that the Ethereum project becomes fully operational. Seeks energy conservation. California seeks energy conservation for the 10th day in a heat wave. Yeah, California is just, these past couple of years have been California's almost downfall. It's just been so much happening in California. What? It's the place where paradise meets Hades. King Charles' sense of duty. You have to pay for it some kind of way. And I'm not seeing anything that's just catching my eye right here. The last couple of hours, the news has been pretty dead. Elon Musk hints at potential Apple space partnership for iPhone 14 satellite feature. Okay. U.S. China tensions gain momentum as U.S. weighs overseas investment screening. U.S. weighed an executive order to screen and possibly restrict U.S. overseas investment in cutting edge technology development in China and other potentially hostile countries. The initiative follows a failed attempt to pass legislation with similar restrictions. However, the move drew concern uh, drew concern from some U.S. tech businesses and investors by providing unwieldy or overboard and undercut U.S. economic influence. The move stemmed from growing concern regarding U.S. investment in China, facing Beijing's goal to dominate semiconductors, artificial intelligence, and quantum computing sectors. The U.S. and China have been at loggerheads since the pandemic vandalized the semiconductor supply chain, and China gained dominance over cutting edge tech. Recently, the U.S. threatened Apple Inc. with consequences for procuring chips from controversial Chinese chipmaker Yangtze Memory Technologies company for its iPhone 14. The U.S. CHIPS Act imposed restrictions on investment in China. The U.S. also imposed restrictions on China's access to cutting edge tech, which extended to Chinese chip makers. Okay, and they also slapped restrictions on Nvidia's cards, transfer of tech to China. Okay. Queen Elizabeth II's funeral. Okay. Man, that lady, man, she's been queen for a long time. Oh my goodness. I really thought she was gonna make it past 100 for real. Let's see, US FDA and European Medicines Agency accepted Pfizer's hair loss, whatever. Some breast implant cases are associated with skin cancer. FDA receives reports. Disappointing data. Fighting the cannabis patent trolls. Bears go nuclear. We already saw that one. Ethereum is a blue chip blockchain. Could see significant value boost. Yeah. Kathy Wood trims Spotify stake and adds another 3.5 in this chip maker. No one cares. Let's see. Jeff Bezos gets into a Twitter spat with professor who wished Queen Elizabeth excruciating death. Okay. We already saw that news. Biden on Roe v. Wade. Republicans have awakened a powerful force in this company in this country. Okay, Trump's Truth Social deal gets 3-month breather as SPAC partner scrambles to get shareholders nod. Okay, so now we're back 18 hours. That's too far. Let's go ahead and jump over. Every time I come to this page, it's always cannabis on their trending news. That's pretty much the only thing that's moving for them. Today is the 9th, so we do have one IPO that's supposed to be opening up, YOSH. And that is, what kind of company are you? A fast growing restaurant operator, and was born out of the idea of introducing the modernized Japanese dining experience to customers all over the world, specializing in Japanese ramen. Yoshiharu gained recognition as a leading ramen restaurant in Southern California within 6 months. 2016, or 6 months of our 2016 debut, and has continued to expand our top-notch restaurant service across Southern California, currently owning and operating 8 restaurant stores with an additional 1 new restaurant store under construction. Okay, so if you're into ramen, Yoshiharu Global Company may interest you. We pull up, collaborate. All right, Kroger, still expecting earnings on Kroger. Let's see who else is down here. Nothing else sticking out. All right, so I forgot about that one I was watching yesterday. ASUN, put that back on there. So ASUN did kind of flatten out yesterday. Hit that top of the 24 and never really got back up there. Just has been in this range for the time being. This SB said, yeah, if you follow the Ripple V or versus SEC case, you'll understand why. Gotcha. All these things be happening under the sheets. Got about 4 minutes to the bell. MOGU has a little flat top up here. Has just been pedaling around this 288 level. We can see it more clearly on the hour chart. See what that wants to do. But it is the top volume mover as of right now. That is above $1. I don't know, Daniel B. I just we work on projects together, but we're not just holding hands. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe sleep. He may be working on something. I don't know. He was asking about where's the guru. I don't know. I don't wake up in the morning and say, "Hey, how are you? What you doing?" I just wake up and I do my own thing. We got about a minute left. A-Sun got a nice little pullback back into this area where it was holding the 23 whatever, but it's on very low volume. You think he's on his way to Tennessee pushing his EV? Nah, man, he he's definitely not pushing the EV. I don't even know if he's driving that EV. He got that the other thing now, so I don't even know. Yeah, Ruby was one that Lori had called out, but looks like it's slipping on down back under the ranges that it was trying to hold here. 120 to 125, super cheap one. Markets are open. Mogu is a top mover, so it's the one I'm gonna watch first. Hitting that top right there. 288s. 290s. Does it want to get $3? It's the lowest float mover as well. So, people are definitely going to come and crowd in with it being the lowest float mover. IFBD was that reverse split stock. Came up here to three. Well, came from like I don't even know what it came from. $1.63 looks like or whatever. But had a reverse split, jumped up, and it was up 600 something percent up here. But definitely gave all of that back. All right, so we are seeing a continued push on Mogu. Big sell right there. Let's see if they can crack down that 280. Almost reached $3, but just could not stomach it. High up there was a 296. Going red on the day. Swivel. Red on the day as well. ASUN, I forgot about that one. ASUN taking a big rip up here. I literally forgot to look over here. ASUN ripping back up here to the 2485s. Let's see what Rivian's doing. Rivian's still going down. Pixie dropped into a halt, going down. Yeah, Pixie was definitely a killer. Kind of figured they had no reason to be up. It's just making these pre-market moves, and then I knew something was up into the end of yesterday when this thing started just ripping. No reason, no nothing, just low float. That's it. No catalyst. So I was like, yeah, somebody's gonna lose their boots down there. IFBD, huge rip down from 260s down here to the 219s. Grabbing all of those long buyers. Still, Mogu has the most volume on the day. But all the higher time frames are saying it's going down, so we'll see if it can continue down. Same thing on IFBD, red, red, red. No go. Ruby pushing back up there. Not a super obvious values here, only up 5%. Did have a double bottom down here off of the 117s. Is a higher float though. Let's look at Ruby. What's the float on that one? Float sitting around 84.4 million. ASUN coming on back down. Very low volume. Let me see. The spot must be coming down. Nope. Spot got a little gap up here. 400 up to the 403s. Will it come back and gap fill in this level is the question. What's up, Reliable Rudy? Well, we're looking at a couple of felling stocks today right now, looking what can hold their potential here. DMS getting a nice pop up there. Ruby still green on the day as well. DMS popped from the 194s up here to the 211s. Had a top up here during pre-market of, what is this? The one right under the 150s. Pulled down to the 220 level. Hustle, Rig, and INDO. Hustle, you want to trade an oil stock while oil's going down? Okay. Let's go look at Hustle. Bravery is afoot. Bravery is afoot. Let's see, INDO. And what was that last one? Rig. What happened to Pixie? Pixie being a weird one. Oil looks fine. I don't know, man. Oil. I'm looking for oil to come on down, man. Came up here, nice little back test, tried to get back into the level that it currently failed, which was this previous head and shoulders looking pattern here. Or really, I don't know if this is a head and shoulders or triple bottom. But yeah, it's tested this, failed through it heavy, came back up, tested here. So I'm looking for it to wave on down. Ruby pumping on up there to the 134s. DMS also coming back to that range of resistance, which was the 220s. A nice little double top there, 217s. ASUN holding these levels up here on the 5-minute. Looks like it got getting buying pressure on the 15. A little bit of buying pressure from the 24 up here to the 2430s. One Life says Intel, INTC. INTC. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of IFBD. It has no reason to come back up. Mogu down here at the bottom. Found a little resistance off of the 261s here. Still red on the day. Ruby had resistance up here right under the 150s last time. And came down 130s. Could be the next level of resistance here. It's definitely working its way there. See what that volume's looking like though. First candle, only one of these has made it to 1 million shares. Swivel pushing back up as well. Aftermarket highs were 231, but this one is a much higher float, so definitely could be a chopper. DMS pushing back into this previous resistance level. Ruby also up 10%. So both of these are up 10% since the open. DMS definitely looks more obvious. If someone was just opening up their application right now, it looks definitely more obvious, but we'll see what it wants to do out of this resistance level. Will it be too much? Pixie continuing to try to push down as well on PIXY, reversing this gap fill level. I may go ahead and take Pixie off. I'm really not interested in that one. It can do what it wants. Rivian is another one, came down back to this previous level that it had tested yesterday and kind of held around the 35s. Getting a pop off these 35s here, 35.22s. Heavy descent though on this one. Hussa. Rig coming on down now. Swivel. Mogu hanging around this level again of the 259s. Green on the 15, green on the 5, but we'll see what happens on the hour. DMS continue to push up. Previous high was right under the 225s, up 12%. ICEE One Life says had a nice move. IE IC. Yep. Nice gap fill up here. So the gap was up here to the 1920s. So definitely did a gap fill there. I need to look over here on these daily charts to make sure I'm not missing anything. So right now, let's look at these daily charts because now we're looking at these shorter time frames. But on IFBD, this one has pretty much fallen through the cracks. Big sell-off there. Ruby going towards the just holding these levels right above the 125s. Apple, Tesla, DocuSign up 9%. Hmm. And then DMS right up here towards this resistance 215s. So yeah, definitely take note on the higher time frames. ISEE continues to push up 20 something dollars. Swivel, big swivel down. Big swivel down. Red on the day. Getting demolished. Higher float stock as well. Taking that one off the watch. Don't even want to see it. INDO did go down. Did oil come on down as well? Oil still right at the 86, but INDO is not reflecting oil's movement. Hussa looking like it's gonna go red as well. Rivian, big buy up off of this 35 level. This previous level that it was holding here. Big buy up off of that. Looks like it may pull a red to green move here, but we'll see. Mogu. Mogu coming back green as well. Almost 10 million shares traded on it. Heavy volume. DMS kind of closing its ranges down. So Mogu may pop back up here as a top mover here. But we'll see. Mogu coming back down now. Tested that resistance again. Getting pushed back red. ASUN grinding higher. Mogu trying to push back under the 275s, looks like. DMS, another little test down to the 211s. Looking like it wants to try to retest in this resistance above the 218s. Throwing some wicks up there. Buyers are above 218. They're right there at 218. We'll see if they get pushed out of there. Creating a lower high on the 5-minute, but a higher high on the 15. Small little peek out. Let's see, ISEE. Still NU looking interesting on the open. One Life says. Oh, wow, yeah. Got a little pump up there. Oil is over the 86 now. We'll see how long it stays there. Doesn't look like a whole helping of interest there. DMS struggle at the 218s there. ISEE continuing to steal the show. So we're going to have to see this thing come on down. People are definitely in love with ISEE right now. ASUN, nice topping tail up here, coming back towards this the previous high, 2450-ish level. DMS 25,000 sitting at the 216s. Can that get broken down? Two 18s back there on the bids, 220s. Retesting this resistance level. High is the 225s area. Up 14%. Ruby throwing a nice little wick up there. Getting back up there to that higher high, but can it hold it? All three of them are looking like it wants to go higher though. The hour chart, the 15-minute, and the 5-minute. We'll see if it stays true to that story. ISEE going towards the 21s. Ruby clapped at 135 there. So yeah, definitely getting some power up to this previous high. DMS, small little pop out. Who wants to take control though? Ruby is a higher float, so I do expect it to snap down a little bit harder or harsher than DMS. We'll see. DMS getting a nice little snap down there. right under that resistance. So we're seeing the test of resistance on multiple stocks. Oil is testing the 86. Ruby up here testing the 136. ISE isn't testing anything. It's just blowing people out. DMS tested previous short resistance and failed. ASUN continuing to hold its levels around the 25s. Mogu back in its previous resistance levels. The 288s only up 2% since the open, so it's not going to be as obvious as these other ones that are up 10-20%. So we may see a drop off on that. Okay, so as of now, over here on the volumes, the volume movers, I got Amazon, Docu, what is that, down 4%? Amazon, ISEE, Snap, Tesla, Mogu, Apple, AMD, and DMS and NIL that are the top volume movers. Just watching. DMS back to the 218s that we saw struggling at first. Let's see, there's a 13,000 shares up here at the 225s. We got about 10,000 shares there at the 218. So somebody is interested at the ask of collecting some orders here. So I'm wondering, are we about to see a dump on DMS? Rivian, forgot about. Rivian still holding its levels there. Came down, tested the 35, still holding right at this 36-ish level on Rivian. ASUN, I'll keep that one on the watch, but I'm gonna take it off of here for now. Let's see, what would that be? Starting to get too cluttered for me. Rivian. INDO, big move down there from the 8s down to the 745s. Let me look at what oil did. Oil's still struggling at that 86. So I'm thinking it's going to have another leg down, which is why INDO is looking like that. And where's Hustle? Hustle also on the way down. Nice little drip as oil goes down. Ridge, similar moves. So let's focus on what's green on the day. And getting that volume. Ruby has a nice double top there. CE. NU coming down to this 525 level, hit a top up here of the 537s. Let's see where that closes. DMS again struggling. Got big size at the 16, 24,000 at the 16. Let's see if that gets pushed through. Wow, that number decreased quickly. Let's see if the 220s had 21,000 there at the 220s. Big struggle right under the 218s. Became resistance. This one looks like it's just in a flat channel on Mogu. Some resistance around here. Possible support down here at the 250. So 250 to 275-ish. Just kind of struggling around here. NU getting some pops back up off of this 525-ish area. DMS refusing to dump. And ISEE looking like it still looking strong. Kind of scary. 15-minute, we can see clearly it jumped up here to the 21 during intraday for a level of resistance. $21 down to the 2050 level. What's up, Lori? One Life says he's in INTC. In on that one. Let me see. Did anybody else call out anything other than NU and all those? Okay. All right. Intel continue to do its thing back up to the top. Had a nice little pull down with a bunch of buying pressure down here to the 31s. Continue to push up. DMS waking back up to the top side, back within this, back over the 218s. Wow. Jumping up there very quickly back into this resistance level. Is that too far too fast or what? Will this snap back down? Do not need to see the 218s again on this one. That'd be horrible. Up 18% on DMS. 19 million shares traded. So yeah, crackdown of the 218s would be horrible here. Tried to get back up to the highs. The highs are up here at the 241. Looks like it wants to get those 40s up there, trying to push its way through. So it is the #1 mover as of now. And we know 218 was a struggle point for it. So we'll see what kind of reaction it gets back there. There's 20,000 shares sitting at the 240 over here on the tape. Will that start to get eaten away at the 240? 20,000 shares sitting there strong. Yep, going back up to 20. See if it'll continue to increase there at the 240s. Coming to the end of this 5-minute candle. 240 is holding. $22 million shares traded. $0.10 away from that 40. Will they go up and try to at least test that 40? Size increasing at the 40 to 21,000. Let's see if this size at the 40 starts to move on down to 5 cents to the 35 and then 5 more cents to the 30s. $40, 240s decreasing, 17,000 there now. But I do see a new size at the 38s, 13,000 at the 38. So somebody's moving on down. Don't like to see those short. There's that pressure moving on in there. Looking like the market maker's trying to push this one on down. And we're not seeing the same thing on the other side. We're seeing what, 10,000 at the 230s. And if these two get broken, they're in such tight proximity that 230 crack is going to be something serious. So let's see if they continue to move down on the ask side. Just reading the tape here, or not the tape, but really the level 2s. Mogu looks like it's continuing downward. Came back up here for a little flat top. Back in within this level. And really red on the day, so not even in the competition. All right, there's 24,000 at the 228s. They got to eat through that. But it is under the 30s, so let's see if they want to get aggressive and go ahead and push all the ask under the 30s. ISEE going on down to the 1990s, right back under the 20s. Ruby had quite a bit of a fall off as well. Ruby only up 5% now, so lost this obvious move. No, Reliable. I haven't taken a trade yet. I'm just watching, looking for those low buys on an obvious stock, you know. So I'm watching DMS because it's the top mover, and I want to see what it'll do back down here at the 218s. That original struggle point of this level here, 218. Because yes, it popped off of there, but this may not have been a true pop. It may just, because with the struggle, let's see, what is that? 218 up to the 231, maybe 11, 12 cents. And now the sizes up here around the 240 and 238s are building up even more. So, and the sizes at 230 are dropping. This was 24,000 just a couple of seconds ago. So somebody's eating up that 230 entry. It's like there's two levels of 19,000 there getting broken through quite quickly through those 30s. Can we see 28s? Those 29s holding there. 28 very quickly. Can we get the break of this 25 level, 225 level? Trying to get back up to the 30s. Creating a lower high on the 15-minute, but it's holding right at the top of the body of this candle, 229 here on this one. For that break of 225. Holding about the 50% mark in here on this this range. The bottom was 220, top was 240s. It came up and holding about this halfway point. 45,000 shares at the 227. Somebody looks like they're trying to get in short on this move down here. We'll see if it go ahead and breaks the 225s. That 45,000 was there very briefly, so that's not somebody sitting and trying to hold it. That's somebody entering for a potential move, potential movement there. Pushing on down there. It's bottom 225s they're holding. ISEE, Ruby. Is there anything else obvious up? Nope. DMS is the most obvious stock we're going to get. NU came down and kind of bottomed here at this 520. Not really high volume, but definitely has been on an uptrend. One Life called this one out back. He actually traded this one back at 450 or something, like a couple weeks ago. So looking like we're trying to hold these levels. But just not seeing those big sizes on the bid anymore. I knew it. Somebody put in 45,000 at right here at the bottom on these red candles. That's super bearish. Let's see. Let's see if they can get some continuation through this 220 now. Back under the 218s. Somebody just dropped 5,000 at 226. Under the bid. Yeah, the ask just not getting pushed down like it should, but either way it goes, this thing would still be a high buy up here. I was looking for this thing to test back to the 218s, but it's taking its time kind of grinding, giving shorts a lot of time to enter here on these lower highs. ISEE back down to the cracking the 20 again. Oil did break down the 85s. Broke down to 86 and now it's down to 85.68. New oil was going down. That's why Hustle and INDO was like, Harry. Okay, Mogu looking like it wants to go ahead and break down this 260. Everything is in the short's favor. Red on hour, red on 15, red on 5, and red on the day. So shorts definitely have the advantage here, have the edge. And no catalyst, of course, that always helps. All right, so DMS has been holding this 50%, 230s right there. I did not expect that. Let's see what those sizes are looking like in here though. 240s is still sitting there with pretty good size. So we could get a possible retest of the 240s, which isn't far, only 10 cents. But that's the only level of size that I see there. $228s. A new size coming in there at 38, so they're creeping their size down here to the 235s, working it down to 5 cents. ISEE looking like it's about to become a dump machine. NU popping up there off of these 2 or 525s up to the 528, only 3 cents. Intel came on down. I'm pretty sure One Life already sold out of this one, or he may be holding the ad. I don't know what his plan is on that one. Mogu giving some pops off this bottom here, but I'm still not interested on that red day move. So can we finally get this test down to the 218s? So it looks like the ask, they're trying to claim all of the 30s here. But cannot get it going. 225s becoming a struggle point. Let's see where the next considerable size is at the 216s, 13,000 shares there, 216s. Looks like 11,000 right here at the 24. So that's probably a short entering, not exiting. Let's see. Can they get this breakdown to the 218? So 218 and 216, there's a little level there. NU up to the 30s, 529 with 18,000 shares. It's like somebody's buying it up. Okay. You're long. Reliable Rudy says he's long on Intel in this area. DMS continue to hold this 225 level. Oh, wow. The shorts, though, they've moved all the way under the 30s now, though. They're ready to push it on down. They're expecting to push it on down, at least. 223, 225 break again. All right. Ruby still holding green up under this level here of the 128s. But down -5 since the open of today, open of pre-market. Not going to be as obvious. Boy, this 225 level is definitely looking crazy. Looks like a triple bottom of 224 on each of these, 224, 224. So 224 is the stop there. Looking for that break. I don't see any huge size of the 224s, but I do see size over here on the ask. So this was one bounce off of VWAP, so we know people bought there. Got a little explosion. Which one of these VWAP bounces is going to fail through big? Is what I'm looking for. And 224 is definitely the area right now. ISEE getting the push down through the 1967s. NIO is the biggest high float mover, up 4% since the open, 27 million shares traded on it, up 8% since pre-market open. So it's been kind of came down here to the 1889s, $19 up to 1926. Has a little top here of the 1953s. Mogu still trying to hold this piece, but I don't believe it anymore. It's a Friday. Either you're going to look really good or you're going to get on down. SPY is up to the 405s. NU gave a little slush down to the 525s, flattening out. Ruby looking like it wants to give some small pops back up to the upside. Still holding green on the day. But I mean, the most is, what is this? The top is a 35, so 123 to the 135s maybe, but this is a higher float, so I would think VWAP would stop it. So this is what, 6 cents. That's just not what we're looking for. ISEE pulling back off these 1950s. People trying to buy around the VWAP. I'm thinking they're gonna get pushed out of there. And then DMS still struggling at this 230s. What? $42,000 shares at the 230s. All of those shares getting filled there on that little pop-up. Let's see how far it pushes it down. New hour has opened. And now the new shares are sitting at 235s here, 10,000 at 235s, and then 14,000 at. So somebody's just getting small fills here for this dump. $230, 21,000, 22,000 shares at the 230 right there on the bid. Do not want to see those 29s back on there. As long as they're going to start piling out. $30 million shares traded on this one. $29s, will they come up? There's the 29s, 28s. Can we finally get that swing down to the 218s? Let's go over here to ISEE. Slowly grinding down on Friday. Intel continuing on down, or not really continuing on down, continuing within this this little channel that it's got here. We'll see if this creates a head and shoulders pattern, but this is the 5 minutes, so it will need to come back up here to the 31.41 to really confirm. Hour chart, so we got the 31.50 up here as resistance. Then we have the body of this candle, 31.30. It's going to have to re-enter this 31 over the 31.30s and hold. This thing continues to hold these 30s. 29,000 shares here at the 31. Yeah, I just don't trust it. Even if it does go, I just do not trust this kind of movement. $30,000 shares at the 31 and not even pushing. 50,000 shares, 40, what is this, 26, 26, 40 something, 50 something. A lot of shares they're getting churned between 2 cents. Not looking good for longs. There's the 29s again. INTC looks gorgeous for a swing. Oh yeah. Yeah, it definitely looks good for a continuation move through those back through those highs. Oh my gosh, man. DMS will not fail. This is the third time that it's been in this level. 1, 2, and it just on the 15-minute, it's looking like it wants to fail, but it is just taking its time so sweetly. Look at the volume fall off. 3 million, 3 million, 4 million, almost 5 million, 1 million, and now barely or kind of easing its way down to 1 million shares per candle. That volume's about to die. 225. Let's see that action at the 28. At this point, 218 is not a safe spot. I feel like that's going to be a break. That's another pop off this 223 on the 5-minute. 223 level. Back within this level up here. So I don't know what this thing wants to do. It can this is the second time that it's held here, 223s. For some reason Govx popped up here. What is it doing? That's a old monkeypox mover there. Up 30%. Oh boy, it may steal the cushion from DMS here. We'll see. May steal the cushion. Govx has a top side 145, bottom of 138, but it has been running. Looks like it started from the 111s, up 30 cents. Let me see if there's any news on Govx. Egypt detects first monkeypox case. Govx to present at H.C. Wainwright 24th Annual Global Investment Conference. Yep, so this is another time that it's been holding here. I'm wondering, can it give a pop out to the highs here of the 244s? Because these 230s just continue to be a problem for some reason. But it does have lower highs, consecutive lower highs on the 15-minute. And of course, buying here will be buying a breakout. Or in hopes of a breakout. Intel throwing a little wick down there to the 3120s, but still just holding those levels. NIO 19 back up to the 1940s. Govx up 30 something percent, man. What is going on? Just because Egypt detects first monkeypox case, it's got to be something deeper than that. White House may ask for 25 billion emergency funding for COVID-19. That was back on the 2nd, so that was a couple of days ago. Govx is coming on up. Look at the daily chart on this one. So Govx has a little bit of catalyst behind it, but it looks like it's going to need to pull back some. Reached a high up here of the 150s. And resistance. Oh my goodness, I did not realize the time. Okay, so GOVX may be on the watch. DMS is still on the watch. We'll see which one steals the show, but those two are the best looking ones to me right now. But they will need to pull back for me to place some bounces on them. Anyway, I need to go ahead and shut it down. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and appreciate you for all of your comments. Here are the final scans there. Ruby, Mogo, still watching for this to stay below the 86 on oil. And then there's the high floats, and then the volume movers is pretty much the same, but they're just categorized up here. But yeah, you guys have a great weekend. If you're gonna continue trading, keep your head on a swivel. But definitely, I'll be watching GOVX and DMS today to see what they want to do with this this new monkeypox stir. Maybe something to that gets continuation into next week, but we'll have to see. Don't forget, we do have the Discord that you can be a part of. We also have the Framework Fortune Media Network that you can check out. That is a channel of its own. We have the individual channels of Reliable Rudy, Stunks and Chunks Gaming, the Framework Fortune home channel, Framework Fortune Crypto channel. And you can check out any of those. Also, if you're on Twitch and you enjoy the content, you can hit that follow. YouTube, you can like, and if you really enjoy it, subscribe. But yeah, we saw some very questionable moves today, and after using some patience, we see some better looking stocks pop up, possibly in GOVX. So we'll see what that wants to do. DMS continuing to just pile around here. Anyway, you guys have a great day. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.